obviously many people are aware he's you know, not afraid to talk about it, which I respect tremendously. Losing his father, the adversity he went through last year, and on top, despite all of that, has still always performed and continues to perform. So nothing but respect for Lou as a player.
Definitely, and inspirational, really, and just carrying that passion through and through, and that experience with all these different teams, all these different styles of players, and really learning how to be an all-around glue to the team is invaluable in a game like Apex.
Hit the nail on the head. Speaking of complexity, Lou's former teammates in Monsoon and Reptar. Of course, they replaced him with Shiny, and you know, it's interesting about complexity. Despite suboptimal performance from complexity in the ALGS championships, no roster changes. I really respect. They really feel like they have that secret sauce with Shiny, and when you listen to them and you see exactly why. So in sync, always brothers that live down in Dallas, Texas together, play with each other. Part of that complexity compound. Big shout out to the complexity organization. My friend Ash's general manager over there, a great organization. Jason Lake and everyone else, great organization across the board.
And they're looking pretty confident right now, staying on the rooftops, putting down some fire left and right at pretty long distances. Doesn't seem to have too much concern about the backside right now, kind of have their backs to the ring. And still playing the low angle down here is unlucky. And I would call this spot unlucky, but there doesn't seem to be too many people up in the high ground to really grief them right now.
Yeah, with Caustic as well, they should be chilling. We saw Monsoon get a long-range pick, and they're playing the very complexity style of play, which is edge, gatekeeping, a lot of poke, a lot of aggression. And there's always calculated aggression. They make the right decisions. They're very well coordinated as a squad, and they find themselves in what I believe is a 3v3 fight here on this edge. Let's see how complexity plays this.
Not pushing in, not going too ham right now, still just weighing their options and trading damage here and there, which is good for leveling up the Evo shield. Reptar gets his purple off of that one and backs up immediately because low-key, I think that's all he wanted.
That's right. They did get a knock, though, and I wonder what happened after the knock. It looks like, oh, it was actually on Dank, and Dank got revived here. So decided not to push that. Probably a wise decision, but now it's going to be Lazarus. That's going to be gatekeeping complexity. They do have Valkyrie, so they could use Skyward Dive from Valkyrie to rotate. We'll see how they play this, but we get to see Lazarus on screen for the very first time. And again, a major congratulations to this squad getting picked up by Lazarus today. The announcement went out. Congratulations and big shot to the Lazarus organization for re-entering Apex Legends with a great team. I'm a big fan of this squad and what they're capable of. We'll see what they can do here. G7
right
Dank
on time with the pickup, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect timing.
The L-Star Fallout. The L-Star. Oh, yeah. It is just running rampant this whole season. Such a chunky gun, does so much damage, surprising range, and, you know, if you're caught out in the open, you know what? No more talks about the L-Star because the Kraber is in Vize's hands.
This man's running an L-Star and Kraber combo. He's about to make people real mad, big mad right now. Let's see what Vize can do with the Kraber and L-Star in hands, but you're right, it absolutely melts and shreds. A close eye here. I love how Lazarus is playing this in the swivel, making sure they're not going to get flanked or poked, and going to get to the right level of recon that they need in Geyser, while also just keeping complexity at bay, because likely, they know it's complexity. They know it's a team that likes to pick fights. I love what we're seeing right now by Lazarus. They're keeping complexity on their toes.
Now over on Era's side, Era Eternity here has some good angles. We see some ults kind of going down, but no one really trying to push. The contrast in aggression right now, but great shots coming out of Stunny with the R301, just trying to peek over, steal some damage where he can, but as of right now, no good line of sight.
Yeah, that's right. Bowser, former member of Renegades. Peanut butter sandwiches before then. Playing alongside Stunny and Tech Candy. Obviously, Stunny, that's a big level up for him. And here comes the push. Looks like they want it. Bowser's gonna make the call, and great damage being put in to start. Meanwhile, Lou's gonna get a pick on Kubsky, former member of Flashpoint. Bowser wisely decides to back out, though, because he recognizes there's a third party nearby. This is not a fight that we want to take, because we will be the unfortunate recipient of a third party.
Bowser, his life flashing before his eyes right there, but honestly, that is the blessing and the curse of Octane. You can get out of there quickly, which means you can kind of step out, kind of push in, get a little bit of damage and run, but you're sacrificing some life, and a few wingman shots later, you might be dead.
That's right. Hambino is the kill leader of the lobby
Ooh.
of Premier. Looking great. Nice shots being put in. Slurpee's going to back out. And that's that get out of jail card that you have if you're Slurpee and if you're a Wraith player. Obviously not as great as it once was when they nerfed it, but Slurpee is able to get out of dodge there.
Yeah, it's more of a get out of jail for half price.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Ain't free no more. I like this team comp though. Octane, Wraith, very aggressive team comp. Meanwhile, Lazarus, the opposite. They're running Caustic and Gibraltar and Valkyrie here. Kraber shot, not going to connect. Who wants that one back?
Close, but no cigar. Slowly running out of ammo here. Round 3 is going to start coming to a close. So still some decent amount of ammo to work with on this Kraber, but I don't expect it to be around in the final rings.
Yeah, I did just see Stunny get knocked by the hands of the likes of Complexity. So here's Complexity now. Look at this wide rotation that they made. Wise decisions from Complexity. This is a tough game. They are sweating right now. They are stressed.
Ooh,
Headshot. That's not a headshot, but the shot's going to come through from Fitter.
Bubble was gone. The Kraber shot was there. Like clockwork. All out, it's like clockwork. They showed up just at the right time. Ring is coming in, but they're still in a great position right here.
That's right. Kraber still in hand. 5 shots. Needs to start being a little stingy, a little conservative with those Kraber shots. You want to save that for late game as a free engage if you can hit a headshot. So we'll see how they decide to play it, but they all have slightly leveled up Evo shields, and they took care of a lot of the garbage that was behind them. A lot of teams that were kind of on the edge there. Nice shot from them.
Yep, Noble now, an extremely consistent team, racked up so many points in the preseason qualifiers. These guys know how to get into the final ring. They know how to survive, and they know how to do all of these things, but they've struggled a little bit with clutching out final moments. So let's see what they've done to adjust that.
Yeah, that's right. Lucas, no longer Farmer Lucas. He's clearly, he's leveled up. Perhaps now he's an Apex player, so he got rid of Farmer in his name, but jokes aside, shot to Farmer Lucas and the Farm Boys, who burst into the scene in ALGS as kind of an underdog team, popped out of nowhere and popped off with some great performances, and now, of course, secured himself a spot on Noble.
He's doing a different type of farming these days, Fallout.
Yeah, that's right.
No more crops, all the shots, all right?
Meanwhile, we got some off-screen picture-in-picture action here, as we do have the Kraber. We can't let you miss it. We got to catch every single Kraber shot as we're keeping a close eye on that picture-in-picture. It's still Lazarus. Valkyrie ult's going to come in. Here's rotation and picture-in-picture. Meanwhile, on screen with Joe Max, our Mexican team playing, representing Latin America.
You'd love to see it. I'm half Mexican myself, so I definitely love to see it. It's always a good time to see that representation. And, look at them. Patient, calm, easy. They're not really making any heavy pushes. They're kind of waiting right now to move in because there's a lot of action going down right below them.
Right. Back to Lazarus and that Kraber. They find themselves hiding in every single possible branch, any possible angle that they can have, but they're going to get tagged up. Dank's going to get knocked, and it's looking a little scary. Vize is still alive, and we'll have a Dome Shield momentarily. Should be able to pull off a revive here and another Dome Shield when that cooldown comes down. It's all up to Fitter, though. He has to make a play with that Evo Shield. Meanwhile, back on board with Legacy Mexico. See what he can do. They're going to get taken out. Sorry.
They got out instantly. You see, every time I throw some props on a team, it doesn't go well. The commentator's curse is real.
That's right. And look at Unlucky flying through and taking out Lazarus, cleaning up his Inhuman. Last alive for his team, actually. He takes out 2, and it's Madness in the kill feed. Keep an eye at the top right of your screen. NRG gets taken out by the hands of Renegades. That is big.
My goodness, the way this is unfolding, so much action happening simultaneously right now that we do have to rely on the kill feed a little bit. But we've got W right here trying to play the edge of this rock, and being out in the open definitely is going to call for that bubble. Now they have a few seconds to decide what their plan is going to be. Are they going to try to sneak some shields or some resources before the bubble goes down? Because they don't have much time.
That's right. W, the former Cinderella story of ALGS Championships, my little phony. See what they can do. We got Rolla Theory making their debut in ALGS. Renegades, look at this spot from them. A slight god spot here on high ground and putting in great shots. Pow Pow knocks Phony, and they are just cleaning up. Renegades, in my opinion, one of the best positioned teams to win this game here. Look at the zone at the top left of your screen. Easy rotation for them on high ground. Renegades, well suited.
Absolutely. It's looking solid for them right now as everyone else down low is just really going through it. Sniper shots coming out left and right. I feel like we see a little bit more sniper action over here in NA, which makes it even more difficult to kind of play these low ground areas in these tight little spots that can be easily exposed by any pixel. So it's going to be interesting to see in the closer and smaller rounds, though, if the sniper game really pays off.
That's right. We got Rolla Theory. I talked about them. Rookies to the ALGS scene, maybe. Are they the next aim assist? A team of 3 controller players that started grinding, worked their way up, see what they can do. Amaze getting some good shots in, but it's a rampage. That thing shoots hella slow, and it's an LMG, so long range, you're not going to connect for a whole lot. Unfortunately, Amaze gets actually knocked and punished. So, not looking good for Roller Theory right now. It's going to be Wraith who's trying to get out of dodge. Meanwhile, Complexity still alive. They're going to take out Renegades, who was in such a good spot. Complexity is looking so strong here, Persia.
And just like that, we thought Renegades had it all. We thought they were looking solid, but Complexity here really fighting through the fire and the flames. One left, Reptar drops down. Got the shield swap. How smooth was that? Is still alive, but for how much longer? Truly.
That is the question. That was one of the smoothest shield swaps we've seen. Clutch shield swaps we've seen under pressure. Reptar stays alive, but finally gets taken out. You just saw from Crust. So we know Sentinels is still alive. We have Noble still alive. 4 squads remain in game number 1. And what a start it's been, Persia.
Really, I mean, look at this positioning from Noble. We talked about it a bit earlier. They definitely know how to survive. They know where to play, and they secure those places early. We just need them to clutch it up. And so far, it's so good, especially with all of these wingman shots connecting from the heavens right now.
Pulse, formerly known as Impulsive Dreams, getting some good wingman shots across map. Lucas, Farmer Lucas on the far right flank. I like this teamwork. I like these angles by Noble. And meanwhile, Sentinel still doing work. We'll have to keep a close eye on them. Senior Service, a team I had on my radar, as No Cocoa Puffs makes his return to competitive Apex. It's been great to see. Gets signed by TSM, leading this team now and looking great with this squad. Senior Service has a chance to win it.
Senior Service, definitely a shout out to No Cocoa Puffs because I've watched plenty of his hilarious videos while learning Apex, and it's just facts. He spits so many facts about a lot of these guns. Always a great time, and definitely excited to see him in the Pro League.
That's right, great people as well. So it all comes down to this. A triangle of squads here. We got 3 teams remaining. Sentinels, Senior Service alive, and it's Noble on high ground, but it's a central zone. So again, top left of your screen, the zone's going to be pulling to the very center of that line, which doesn't always happen. This last zone closes in really slowly and can pull any direction or any area in this last circle, but this time it's going to be center circle. I think all 3 of these teams are going to be forced to fight.
Should be interesting to see what they decide to do here. Noble has a good amount of time up here on the high ground. The team to the bottom left of, though, might be their biggest problem. I almost want to see if they... Oh, they don't have the Biggie ult. If they did have the ult, I was going to say they could flush them out, but that's not going to be the case. They're going to have to play this one really slow.
That's right. That would have been huge to have. You usually want to save that Gibby ult to late game, but they probably had a reason that they had to use it earlier, so no Gibraltar ult for this team. Other teams may have it. Bloodhound not going to be great in this late game necessarily, but they do have high ground. They're taking every bit of advantage they can, but look at the team fire coming from low ground from Sentinels. They absolutely beam Rakanishu of Noble, and that opens up an opportunity for Sentinels to close this.
They're still up there in the high ground for as long as possible, though, and Noble just needs to buy enough time for these 2 teams to start fighting, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
No, definitely not. Impulse is knocked as well. That's going to be hit for them. It all comes down to this 3 versus 3 fight. Sentinels versus Senior Service. The wide right flank. The great 88 shots going to be through from Senok. And just like that, but Noble's still alive. One member of Noble is leaving into a 1 versus 1. It's Lucas. Farmer Lucas is alive versus, I believe, Senok of Sentinels. Lucas gets a couple good shots. Ava 8 is going to do absolute work, but he's not finishing through. He's going to get taken out. And Sentinels wins it. What a game number 1. Noble almost steals it under the nose of Sen.
Holy smokes, Fallout. The way Sentinels was playing the knockdown shield right there. And such a heartbreaker for Noble because we